So good evening, everyone. We're gonna go ahead and start it. So before we started, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Juliana Ranches. I'm assistant professor, extension beef specialist for Oregon State University. Sorry, I was just checking some things here. I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and start it. So before we started, I just would like to thank everybody that has connected with us today. Really appreciate you taking time to participate on this webinar. So I also would like to thank Dr. Dave Bohnert and Dustin Johnson, the other two speakers for tonight. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your working, your collaboration in this project. So I also would like to thank Amy. Amy is our undergrad student at Oregon State University. She's helping us with the webinar management. So thank you very much, Amy. Really appreciate. So you probably had some time to read this first slide here, but before we begin, I would like to go over just to make sure we are all on the same page. So as you probably know from our agenda, we will have 3 talks today, and they're approximately 25 minutes long. So I'll introduce each speaker before their talk, okay? So our participants were muted upon entry, and this is how we're gonna run this webinar, okay? So if you have questions, please use the chat box for questions. This will be easier for us to manage the questions. Also very important is that we will only do questions at the end of all talks. So there will be no in-between questions during the talks, okay? Just at the end of the 3 talks that we will do the questions. If you don't know how to use the chat box, so chat box is how we're gonna use, it's what we're gonna use to address the questions, right? If you don't know how to use the chat box, we have here, let me explain a little bit. So if you're connect on your phone, way to go is on your screen, you're gonna find participants, then you click on participants, and then you click on chat, and you should be able to see a chat box. In that chat box, you can just type your question. Usually you can type to everyone, and everyone will see your question. If you don't want to type to everyone, you have the option to change that for the specific person you want to ask that question or send that message. So just change that to the person you want to ask. But questions are welcome, just send to everyone. That's easier, I guess. If you are connected on your computer, you can use, is a little bit different. So here, you're gonna find a chat button, and you can use that one to open your chat box. Usually this will be on the bottom of your screen, so you can just click on chat, and then the chat box will open, and then you go ahead and send your question, okay? So I guess those were the housekeeping rules I had for today. So I guess I'll go ahead. Sorry. I have to say this is a little bit weird since I cannot kind of hear any feedback, but I'll go ahead and start it.